Jail Report's YouTube channel. I'm Greg Rickabaugh, publisher of the Jail Report, and I wanted to go over a case with you that happened that the suspect in the case, Alan Johnson Jr., wanted to tell his side of the story. And so I wanted to go over what he says happened, show you some photos that he sent us, go over what the sheriff's office said, and even show you a video that the club owner sent us so you can decide this case on your own, okay? So this is the Edge Club. It's 1258 Gordon Highway in Augusta. If you go to their Facebook page, it describes itself as a gay bar. Edgefield Nightclub is a place to come to be free to be yourself. Great drinks served by a great staff. Now on let's see, April 10th is the night that this happened. So if you go to their Facebook page again, you'll see on April 10th they were having a they said, due to extremely popular demand, Edge Nightclub and Carly Cox are back with the Pose Ball Volume 4. You will get the chance to become part of the performance and take home a trophy. If you look over here, you'll see categories are Butch Queen, Femme Queen, Bear Realness, Kilt Realness, and then you kind of go through here and it kind of explains what some of those are, where you jugs on who's the sexiest bear, who's the sexiest in a kilt, you know, some things like that. So that's what they had going on the night that this incident happened. Now, many of our Jail Report fans will have already seen this article stating the initial facts in this case. Rowdy customer at Augusta Gay Bar hits manager with beer bottle. And so, as we told you, according to a sheriff's report, that's what we based this on, Alan Johnson Jr. of Johnston there in Edgefield County was arrested with battery. And it said that Melvin Randall Jr., the manager of the gay club, again on Gordon Highway, had said that Johnson had been causing a disturbance throughout the night. The club got several complaints about Johnson disturbing other patrons. The club's security team told Johnson to leave, but while the manager was removing beer bottles from the man's table, Johnson allegedly grabbed a bottle and hit him across the left side of his face, causing a cut on the left side of his eye. The suspect also ended up with an injury while the security team subdued him. Paramedics checked out the manager and patron before taking Johnson to jail. And that's, you see him there. And just to give you a better shot of his mug shot there, as you see the big bandage on his head. Now, Alan contacted us because he felt like he wanted to tell his side of the story. And what he told us was that he was assaulted, that the manager had 4 of his guys physically restrain him after the initial assault and hit him in the face with a beer bottle that had him bleeding. He said he did not resist arrest at all, but he felt like if it was going to be printed in our paper with his picture, with his full name in there, then he should be able to tell his truth. And we always believe in letting people tell you their truth, their side of the story, if we're going to print them, okay? Here's what he sent us. He sent us some pretty bloody photos of him, and I apologize for the graphic nature of them, but this is him showing how he ended up that night after he got a beer. He says that the manager and him basically both were throwing beer bottles at each other at some point, and I'll go over the details of who hit who first, and I'll show you a video from the club. But anyway, so there's the wound. It looks like it's kind of small there, but it gushed a good amount of blood. In fact, he described it kind of like if someone had cut a water line and bled all over him. So what does he have to say about it? Well, let's take a look. What Alan says again is that he was there and he had got into it with another guy, and that he went over to talk to the guy and said that if the guy kept messing with him, he used the F word, but if the guy kept messing with him, he was gonna end it. Okay, so anyway, but he let the guy go. The manager came up to him and confronted him about it. Melvin came up to him and confronted him about this, and told him that he needed to stop that. So Alan says okay, and orders another beer, and he goes to sit down. Well, in the meantime, the manager goes and he looks at the video that happened. He's got video inside there and realizes that there was a physical altercation, that Alan had actually grabbed the other guy's arm, and so he wants the guy out. So when he comes up to the guy and tells him to leave, like the sheriff's report says, they say Alan threw a beer bottle at him. And Alan says that it's true he got upset at being told to leave, and that he says that he got upset because the manager saw him order beer, saw him at the bar, was ordering a beer. Why did he let him order the beer if he wasn't going to let him finish it? And he just wanted to finish his beer. They started cleaning up the table, and he got upset about that, and that's when the things happened. So who's at fault here? I tell you what, let's show you the video, and I want you to keep your eye right over here. If you can see the arrow, the top left corner is where the action is going to be. You see the DJ here. You're going to see some dancing over here, but keep your eye right over here, and you'll see this play out. There's the beers on the table. Apparently this is Alan. He's being told right here that he needs to leave. The DJ hears something and comes over to see. And let's see what happens. They're cleaning the table. You can see them taking beer bottles off of there. And there goes the swing, and that's it. Now, the bar owner, Melvin Randall Jr. tells me that he does not have further video. Now, according to Alan Johnson, he says that let's look at his side of the story here. He says that they asked him to finish his beer since I'd freshly bought it to leave. As I reached for my beer bottle, he snatched it. As I reached back for it, they punched my hand extremely hard, and then I, in return, punched him back in the face with the bottle in my hand. He, in turn, had his 4 goons, he calls them, to physically restrain me, and then hit me in the face with another beer bottle, and then punched me, but took off running after I stood to get him back, and had at least 8 people restraining me at the time, with some of the friends included in restraining me. Alan says he threatened to call the police, so I called the police. He showed the video trying to play the victim, and in turn was arrested for disorderly conduct, and which is not, I cannot find any proof that Melvin Randall was arrested for disorderly conduct. Melvin tells me he was not, and that deputies told him he did nothing wrong and that he was innocent. So I am not sure that there's any truth to that statement. There's no mugshot of him. There's no record that I can find of him. But anyway, it says, I was arrested for battery. This is Alan Johnson, but posted a cash bond trying to keep it quiet. I have several eyewitnesses to back up my story. Now, Melvin tonight tells me that he actually has 30 witnesses, he says himself, and that he was just trying to de-escalate the situation. But yes, absolutely, he, after getting sucker punched or sucker hit with the beer bottle, did hit back, grabbed the closest beer bottle he could in defense and hit back. He says, I absolutely threw some punches after my face was bleeding. And he said he shared that with the police, and they said, as you should have. So he said they restrained him, and they got him out the door. He absolutely was restrained, taken to the ground, and escorted to the door, is what the owner says. So, just again, let's take one more look at this video, just so that you can see and decide for yourself what happened here. I apologize, there's no audio here. Something about the formatting, but it's probably going to be loud music anyway. So, again, keep your eye right here where it happens. He's apparently enjoying his beer. I think he's got a cowboy hat on. Alan, and they come over, and at some point they're going to start clearing the table, and he apparently wants to finish his beer. So it does apparently seem to be a pretty big argument there. So there you go. That's, both sides of the story. One says the other one was more aggressive. The other one says the other one was aggressive. But I wanted you to see Alan's side of the story, and he says that he just wants people to know that he was not the instigator here. I asked him why he just didn't leave when they asked him to leave. He says he wanted to enjoy his beer, that the manager knew that. Now the manager tells me that they offered to pay for his beer. I don't know if that's true, but he says they offered to pay for the one beer that he had purchased to make that up for that. So who knows? Alan Johnson will have to appear in court at some point, and but that's his side of the story. He was not the instigator. He says that they even held him back and punched him pretty hard. He ended up in jail with this injury. One of his friends gave him a T-shirt to change into. And he plans to use the bloody shirt as evidence in court to show what they did to him. So there you go. There's a story. Want to try to bring you these videos from time to time on the YouTube page just to see if that's a better format for our Jail Report readers. Tell us what you think in the comments. And again, I'm Greg Rickabaugh with the Jail Report, bringing you news from the CSRA. Okay. Feel free to pick us up. The Jail Report is available every Friday in gas stations and also available for download at thejailreport.com. You can get it online. Crime news from across Aiken, Richmond, Columbia, and Edgefield counties. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for enjoying this episode, and we'll try to have another one soon.